Good morning and peace be upon you, dear students. Praying for the auspicious physique of you to the omnipotent Allah, I welcome you all to my English world. I am Muhammad Abul Kalam Azad, lecturer in English, Kagratui Cantonment Public School and College. Today, I am before you with another complete lesson taken from English second paper regarding English grammar. It is about the uses of special phrases and words. One of the most facile and the easiest grammar lesson. So dear students, if you pay a little heed to, you can get 5 on 5 at ease in this lesson. Because here in this lesson, I have discussed only 20 phrases and words that usually come once and again to the board questions. So dear students, without making delay, let's go to the lesson now.
Before going to the lesson, dear students, let's see some images and text to guess something, okay? Image number 1. It's an image of completing sentence with phrases given in the box. Image number 2. This image is also for completing sentence, but with the words from the given box. So, what are you going to discuss today? Completing sentences with phrases and words, right? So, today's lesson is on using of special phrases and words that will be used for completing sentences. Learning outcomes of this lesson. I mean, after this lesson, you will be able to know special phrases and words at a glance, uses of special phrases and words, sample of completing sentences using phrases and words, and a discussion on previous board questions. Special phrases and words at a glance. Dear students, here not more than 20 special phrases and words are mentioned, such as be born, have to, has to, or had to, had better, would rather, as if or as though, what if, let alone, what's that just like, or what does that just look like, as soon as, no sooner had, used to, but for, unless, it or there, in order to, whenever, would you mind, what do you mean, what's the matter, and instrumental adverb. Dear students, if you know the meaning as well as the uses of these phrases and words properly, you will easily be able to complete the sentences with the concerned phrases and words in your answer script. So dear students, let's now know the meaning and uses of the phrases and words. Number 1. Be born. The phrase be born is used meaning to come into the world at birth. Here, be means be verbs, that is, are, was, and were. As man is not born by himself and he is given birth by the parents, the sentence must be passive in the form of past simple. I mean, was born or were born will be used in place of be born, depending on the subject of the sentence. For example, I was born in 1985. My parents were born in Dhaka. Here in the first sentence, subject I is singular and subject my parents in the second sentence is plural. That's why was born is used in the first sentence and were born is used in the second sentence. But remember, dear students, if the subject of the sentence is indicated to any race or community or the whole mankind, then is born or are born will be used depending on the subject of the sentence in lieu of be born. For example, man is born free, but everywhere he is in chains. Poets are born to write poems. Here, man, the subject of the first sentence, is singular and indicates the whole mankind, and so is born is used. And poets, the subject of the second sentence, is plural and indicates a specific community, and that is poets, and so are born is used here. Number 2, have to or has to or had to. The phrase have to or has to or had to is used meaning to obligation or mandatory. If the subject of the verb in the form of present tense is third person singular, then the phrase has to is used in the sentence. Otherwise, the phrase have to is used. And the past form of the phrases have to and has to is had to. Remember, dear students, after the phrases have to, has to, or had to, the main verb must be in the present form. For example, we have to destroy Aedes mosquitoes to get free from dengue fever. I felt chest pain. I had to go back to hospital for a scan yesterday. Here in the first sentence, we have to destroy Aedes mosquitoes to get free from dengue fever. That means if we want to get free from dengue fever, it is our mandatory duty to destroy Aedes mosquitoes. In the second instance, I had to go back to hospital for a scan yesterday. That is, I felt pain so much that I was bound to go to hospital for a scan yesterday. And that's why have to is used in the first sentence and the phrase had to is used in the second sentence. Number 3. Had better. The phrase had better is used meaning to disparate hope to one, to give advice or to make recommendation. And after the phrase had better, the main verb also be in the present form. For example, smoking is injurious to health. You had better leave it. He is sick. He had better take medicine. Here in the first instance, had better is used to warn to leave smoking, as it is injurious to health. And in the second instance, had better is used to give advice to take medicine because he is sick. Number 4. Would rather. The phrase would rather is used meaning to preference from two actions, and between the two actions conjunction then is used, although the conjunction then may remain omitted at times. Again, the verbs used after the phrase would rather of course be in the present form. For example, tomorrow is exam. I would rather read than sleep. You feel boring staying at home. You would rather go outside. Here in the first instance, I would rather read than sleep means from two options, read and sleep, I like to read as I have an exam tomorrow. In the second instance, you would rather go outside. Here also have two options, to go outside and to stay at home. Going outside is perfect for you, as you feel boring to stay at home. And that's why the phrase would rather is used in these sentences. Number 5. As if or as though. The phrase as if or as though is used meaning to supposing or a possible explanation, but actually not the correct. Again, if the first clause including the phrase as if or as though is present simple, the next clause will be past simple. And if the first clause is past simple, the next clause must be past perfect. For example, he saw everything. He pretended as if he had slept. She is not a dancer, but she acts as though she were a dancer. Here in the first instance, he saw everything because he was woken. But he pretended that he had slept. In the second instance, she is not a real dancer, but she acts as a dancer. And that's why the phrase as if or as though is used in the sentences.